interviewed this guy a few times, have you not, in your past?
Yeah, he was in and out of federal court probably 3 times up in St. Louis, 3 separate cases involving First Amendment issues.
Now, the latest is that, let me make sure I get this right, the wife and the stepson have been arrested?
Yeah, they were arrested over the weekend. They were both charged yesterday with first-degree murder, armed criminal action, abandonment of a corpse, and tampering with evidence.
So what are the police saying? What do they think happened?
Well, things apparently weren't going well in the Ancona marriage. I don't know what Melissa Ancona's stepson, what his involvement was in that, but apparently Thursday morning, this is according to the prosecutors and the police, Thursday morning, sometime between 2 and 3 in the morning, he comes in, he shoots his stepfather in the head while he's sleeping, while Frank Ancona is sleeping. They dump the body in a nearby town, actually in a national forest kind of nearby, and do their best to clean up the blood.
And then I know I saw her somewhere talking about this. She hasn't been shy talking to the media before she was arrested.
Yeah. I mean, I think she actually posted a link to stories about her husband's disappearance, and said at one point, "My heart is breaking." There was some stuff. There was some stuff coming out over the weekend from the Park Hills Daily Journal down there, where she mentioned Frank leaving and saying, "I'm going to file for divorce when I get back." But there was a lot of stuff going on over the weekend involving her and the family.
Yeah. They keep saying that he was a leader of the Ku Klux Klan. How big of a leader was he, and how big is this group there?
Well, he was absolutely a leader. I mean, he represented the group in court. He, had some incorporation documents for the organization. That particular traditionalist American Knights of I think it's the Ku Klux Klan, was not a huge group, double digits for sure. The Southern Poverty Law Center, they track hate groups, and they said, maybe 40 in 3 different places: Idaho, Pennsylvania, and here, and actually in Potosi. So, what did they do? They handed out leaflets. They sued cities that wouldn't let them hand out leaflets. The neighbor told my colleague Tim O'Neill that they got together occasionally at Ancona's house and even burned a cross there once.
There was also the allegation from your reporting that they killed the body somewhere and then took the body somewhere else. Yeah.
So there's a big river. The big river runs near Belgrade, Missouri, although it's not particularly big at that point. And a family was fishing over the weekend and found his body. I don't know what condition it was in, but they found his body and reported it to the police. So I don't know whether it was in the river or near the river, but it was out in the national forest there. They are, according to the prosecutor, when they took his car out to the national forest, they wiped down all the surfaces. There's some sort of chemical smell in it, and then there was a burn pile that looked as if clothing had been burned near the car, near Ancona's car.
Yeah. What are the odds? It's starting to reach some national publications. Any speculation or any idea that this story might go national?
Over the weekend it already went national. I think there's just, there's something about this story that has attracted a lot of attention. There was a lot of, I can't describe it any other way but celebration on social media over his death. And it's reminiscent of, there was a similar white supremacist death in California a few years back where a son killed his father, and the father was, had some sort of position in a group out there. So.
Right.
Was there any history of the two, the stepson and the father? Did they have were the police ever called to the home? They have a bad relationship?
The relationship was described to me as so-so. So they had some issues in the past, but I think things had been a little bit better issues is how it was described to me by the prosecutor, and I don't know if those issues involved law enforcement or just, a lot of screaming. The neighbor said Melissa he frequently heard Melissa yelling at Frank, but I think he liked Frank a lot better. So
yeah, what they're held without bail. Any word on who their attorney might be?
No, Paul Jinkerson, the stepson, has an attorney on a couple other cases. There was he's got a pending charge. He's accused of some sort of theft from a car wash, and then there's an old drug charge for a trace amount of meth that he got probation for, and he violated his probation because of a new arrest. So it might be that lawyer. I'm not sure about Melissa Ancona. She's got, in her background, I couldn't find anything but a traffic ticket.
All right. That is Robert Patrick, St. Louis Post-Dispatch, a reporter doing all the legwork on this. Robert, thanks for checking in. Have a good day.
You too.
You got Robert Patrick, St. Louis Post-Dispatch. This, as he said, is gone national. It's going to be on Dateline. You can only imagine, but a very bizarre story.
Yeah.
7:57, Big 550, KTRS.